Hey guys, it's DPSI. What I'm going to do today is a little bit of self-analysis. This game, I lost to this dude who has Chinese characters in his name. Let me look up what that means actually. Izumi Akimuzu. Is that a person? Okay, I don't know. I'm just going to call him the opponent. Okay, so anyways, I have this game versus this opponent who is very good. What's his rating, like 13K or something? Yeah, I mean 1300, 1338. He's like at the top in one of the leaderboard categories. I don't remember, but got matched with him. It's a high funds game, and then this map is, I forgot the name of it. Yeah, Love Supremacies. Who made this map? Walker High Funds. Okay. I don't know if it was originally Walker who made this map or not, because I know that Walker's adapted a number of normal maps into high funds maps. But anyways, let's get going. So the first thing to notice is the CO picks, my Jess versus his Drake. Drake has I think it's minus 30% on his air units, and Jess has, her infantry are what, like 80%? All other units other than vehicles have 90% firepower? Really? That's not so bad. Except for infantry, that kind of sucks. So I guess she has 90% Bopters. That's not so bad. Maybe I should use her Bopters more in the future. Okay, anyway, so my Jess versus his Drake. Drake is usually ranked higher on almost all maps. Mass damage is really good. And as it turns out, I didn't really think about this before, but the rain that comes with the super CO power limits movement pretty significantly. I think Walker even recently pushed a change to rain to make it add one more cost of movement through forests, which is consistent with the cards. So now rain is even more powerful. But of course, it's not as good as Olaf's snow. The kind of joke here is that Jess kind of half counters Drake because she gets the resupply on her power and CO on her CO power and super CO power, and of course Drake's CO power and super CO power drain fuel by half. So there's kind of a meme that Jess counters Drake, but as we'll see, that's not really true because the mass damage hurts quite a lot. So let's see, this is high funds, so the first thing to look for in the capture phase is that we're going to prioritize capturing nearby properties over gaining positional advantage with the infantry, and I think both of us adhere to that guideline here. So he captures back first, I capture back first. He goes forward here. It chains together this capture into this capture, which is good because, as we'll see, I believe that he gets that pretty much uncontested. It would take a lot of effort for me to be able to send an infantry early to contest that. I don't know. It would definitely cut back on my funds in order to contest the city. Like I'd have to forego a lot of early capturing. But yeah, if you're looking for like chains of like city combos where you do capture that and then immediately start capturing another city, I think of them as like little combos. There's one combo here and there's one combo here. So he could have gone here, capture the city first, and then get the airport. And those are the only combos that are available on this side of the map early on. Okay, so my turn. I guess capture here, and then I'll either go there or there. I think I mirror him. Yeah. Oftentimes against top players, I'll mirror their opening for the most part, just because like if you can't beat them, join them. Okay, cool. Go for the base immediately, of course. Go for the base immediately, of course. Capture there. Go for the combo. Very good. Oh right, this was the first guy that captured, and he's going for these properties. Okay, he has a head start, so might as well. I think this is still mirrored, right? Yep, 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 exactly mirrored. And I'm going to turn ahead on this front. I decide to go capture these back properties first. The alternative to that move, yeah, I mean, maybe you could go this way and interrupt this cap, but I think it's totally fine if you don't. And we see that he actually takes a different move. He goes here. I don't know why you would go here instead of here. Because if you move to this square, at least you have the same option of capturing the same city, but you also have the ability to like pretend like you're going to move here or here and threaten my cap. I don't know. I like to move to a square where I still have where I delay the choice as long as possible. Okay, so I don't think any of these details that I've mentioned so far have had like a lasting impact on the game, and like none of these things are game winning or game losing moves by any means. I think. I don't know. I could be wrong. Okay, so we're here. It's his turn to move. Okay, this guy goes to this square. That makes sense. He's going for this back property, and by the time that he finishes capturing back here, and by the time he finishes capturing the airport, his infantry are going to be in a nice little tight cluster here, as we're going to see here. You'll see what I mean. We'll just go in a couple of turns. Here we go, right there. Infantry in pairs are a lot better than infantry by themselves. So anytime you can like end up in these beautiful little like infantry pairs like this, you're getting a lot more value since obviously infantry pairs significantly destroy like single infantry. So then his next turn, he's going to have a ton of infantry packed up into a little tight wad. His arties is shielded. All of his infantry are being useful or are about to be useful. And he can set up his wall pretty well. Because there's just a lot of coherence here. I always love watching capture phases from really strong players because it just looks so pretty when everything just comes together just at the right perfect time. And of course too, like all these little open holes that where the tanks are just like one square away from just barely missing the artillery, or it's just like tantalizingly close but you can't quite make it. Those are always really satisfying to me. Okay, we were way back here. Yeah, he moves here and gets the infantry pair. Oh, also he built a tank. So there's a couple reasons why he might have built his first vehicle on this side. One is that he kind of gets he like gets a tempo on his weak side, so he's not gonna fall behind too early. That's one bonus. Another bonus that is especially relevant because it's high funds is that he still has quite a lot of properties to capture over here, so he'd like to get his infantry up as quickly as possible. If he's forced to build a tank here or build a tank here, building a tank in a place where you don't need any more infantry to capture is it like maximizes your early gains, which of course are doubled through high funds. Okay, my turn. I think I've mirrored him completely, actually, right? Yeah, tank captured there. Yeah, okay, so a total mirror on my side. Over here, again, I chose to move this way first. Infantry goes this way, okay. Oh, you know what? I might have been able to go into the river and then move there. That seems a little bit smarter, actually. Okay, whatever. I made a choice. I'll stick to it. Okay, his move. He'll capture that way. He's got to move over here, right? Oh, really? Okay, he goes for this city. So he's a little late getting to these cities compared to me. Is anything too wild happening? He just made that move. And he'll obviously go there next. Again, he chooses to go this way. instead of to move to this square instead of this square. Like, I don't know. I would move to this square all the time, just out of habit, because I would push off the decision to move here versus here until I have to like actually make that decision. I wouldn't force myself into capturing here first if I didn't have to. But I guess if you're sure of your moves, then it doesn't really matter. Okay, so actually there's an important move here, a very like small important move, which is that by putting my tank here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I can't move 6 unless I build another tank because he can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and attack me for free. So unless I'm building another tank behind this, which I could have afforded, I'm not going to move to that square. But I actually decided to bank a bit because he banks a bit, and I notice that he's got 10k in the bank at the end of this turn, which I was pretty concerned about. I didn't know if I was going to see a sudden neo tank into infantry, which looks pretty reasonable. And then he also gets 1, 2, 3 properties this turn, so his income is up to 1,700. Sorry, 17,000, and 17,000 is a really nice number. You can get 2 tanks and an infantry. Yeah, basically it's 2 entry-level vehicles and an infantry. So yeah, I see that and I'm like, okay, crap, I gotta save and make sure I don't get like cheesed by a neo tank or something. So I only build infantry out of this, and that's why I didn't have another tank here to back up my tank. Otherwise, I could have moved another square forward. Okay, small detail, but kind of a fun little situation there. Since he actually has, he gets to the center before I do because of FTA. Or, well, I guess STA. He got the first vehicle. Let me check on something. Okay, we're on turn 12. Could I have gotten a vehicle any earlier than that? Just out of curiosity. Oh, I could have gotten a vehicle earlier than that. Yep. I could have done a vehicle this turn. But as I said earlier, it would mean like a foregone 2k worth of income, I think is the right way to think about it. Because your infantries that, like, anytime you have an infantry go on a capture route, so take the first infantry that our opponent had. The infantry moved here, captured, captured, capture, capture, and then it's done capturing for the rest of the game. That sequence, if started one turn later, and everything else about the capture phase equal, you gain an extra 2k by starting this route one turn earlier. That's the way that I like to think about sort of capture routes, as I'm going to call them. Okay, so I did decide to forego the vehicle for another infantry, and this allowed him to get the first vehicle. Now, what he does with this first vehicle is really impressive. Like, obviously, with each game I play, I become a little bit more knowledgeable and a little bit more attentive to smaller details. But I think this is, of the games that I've played recently, this is like the most significant first vehicle in like determining the outcome of the game, because what this tank does changes a lot of how I have to play. So actually, one thing, I've been going turn by turn here. When I was thinking about doing this earlier, I thought that maybe it would be better to show the whole game and sort of get like the broad picture. Now that we've like kind of entered the early mid game, I think I'm gonna let it play through a bit and sort of show you and remind myself of what happens and what to look for. Right, so this move here, he puts his tank right in the middle, and this does a few things. My first thought at the time was, oh crap, he's going to get this early tank onto his 2-base side, and then he'll have an extra tank along with 2 bases worth of tanks pumping, along with 2 bases worth of production. I'm going to get completely demolished. And this player is a very strong attacker, as you have to be if you're going to be at the top level. So I'm just going to get totally wiped. Shoot, what am I going to do? So in the response, I do a cheeky little block move because I am like that. Okay. So it's his turn. He kind of goes for a little bit of a web type deal. He builds 2 tanks behind this. So my man means business. And a medium tank on this side. Oh my god. Oh, and he has just barely enough money to pull this off too. Oh god, this is such a brutal turn. Because like you would think that okay, so he sacrificed his first vehicle on his one base side, is bringing that over, like no longer doing anything on the one base side. So you think, okay, great. If I can hold off the attack on my one base side, he won't have a lot left on this side. So I should be able to just like fly in, do a lot of damage, get some properties. That'll be great. But with a medium tank, all of a sudden I have to invest in like the cheapest counter to a medium tank in this situation. I guess an artillery, maybe a medium tank, as well as like dealing with this big threat over here. So I'm kind of stretched thin. First things first, I got to get my trolley tank to safety. Do just that. Build a neo tank behind it to sort of stop him dead in his tracks. Oh, I wonder if mega tanks were banned in this game. Mega tanks were not banned. Okay. Okay, so I attempt to just shut this idea down completely, or at least slow it down by forcing him to tech way up. I have my airport captured, that's good. I can also spam Bopters and force an AA instead of a tank, which is probably good news. And what's more, I'm not really gonna get, I'm not gonna be able to do anything about this city. But the cities that I have captured aren't going anywhere because I have this nice little pocket for my arty. Okay. Oh, I actually do build an arty to counter his medium tank. So the cheapest possible counter that has the potential of truly countering the medium tank I build. I think that's good. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I could even 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so harassing this infantry would be a disaster. Ooh, okay, I didn't know this turn was in there. Okay, so basically, like, I don't know if I've said this yet, but what my opponent ends up doing is contesting my ability to take this tower, and does that by really threatening me in the middle. Just sort of skimming forward to get the gist of the idea. This turn right here is pretty well. This turn illustrates the idea I'm trying to show, which is that there's 2 tanks in the middle. I'm trying to capture my comm tower, but even I can't quite get there in time to like totally stop this attack. He decides to attack into it anyways, and he just barely gets his units. Well, okay, the idea here is he flies in, delays my comm tower, and the comm tower is actually a medium big deal here. Just with a comm tower, her infantry are now vanilla, right? I'm pretty sure. Her Bopters are now vanilla. And also very significant is her vehicles have the golden 120 attack, meaning that you can 2KO on cities. You can 2KO on cities with units with like the 55 matchup on itself. So tank destroys tank with vanilla defense on a city, which sounds oddly specific, but it's very important. It's so weird too because like my counterattack here, it looks like I'm set up to cover this, and I did everything I could to like move into a position where I could cover his where I would like dissuade him from attacking this comm tower. I have a tank ready to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 onto the comm tower. Like there's like if he attacks from here, I'll just get off, attack with my tank from the 3-star terrain, take minimal counterattack damage, and then whatever comes next, I have this other tank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 who could theoretically also land on top of the comm tower. Maybe did I miss something? Oh, I opt to. Maybe I should have killed the. Maybe I should have hit both tanks instead of just killing one. I don't think I even considered for very long the option of maiming both tanks. The reason for this, I used to think that it was always better, with very few exceptions, to prioritize killing units completely rather than hurting them quite a lot and then forcing them to retreat. But in all of the analysis that I did for Patochik versus I in the AOC July tournament, video may or may not be on the way. That was really hard. I spent a lot of time on it. But the point is, Patochik versus Javier Two Tower did a lot of things where he would prioritize doing like spreading out his damage. He would try to attack such that there were 2 5 HP tanks instead of 1 full HP tank. Like the justification for that I came up with was that Javier's CO power makes high HP tanks like damn near invincible. By spreading out the damage, his walls are like still annoying, but you can still do damage that turn, even if you're not going to totally break the wall. So basically, long story short, it suggested to me that maybe I should reconsider my conviction that it's always better to go for kills rather than like spread out the damage. So this is a situation where I'm going to think about that more. If I had spread out the damage, a little hard to see, but basically you have a 5 HP tank here and a 5 HP tank here. I don't know. It's not clear to me that this is a mistake. So anyways, back on track. He harasses the comm tower. I counterattack. He just barely gets his medium tank over and gets a free shot on my tank. Well, actually, hold on. That's pretty nasty. His battlecopter comes in, hurts my tank. His other tank finishes it off. His medium tank comes in, nearly one-shots my tank. Because he already has his tower up. I did nothing to try to stop that. Okay, so think about the exchange in another way. I do kill one tank, slightly hurt. He kills almost 2 tanks, so he's up 9 HP on a tank. And then I do something a little bit crazy and get my power, which gives me just enough movement to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Move here, attack the medium tank. However, that leaves me open to getting attacked by his Neo tank, which is a little bit gross, and it also gives him his super CO power during this, which is super gross. But yeah, so I attack back, kill off a. Okay, so he was up 9 HP on a tank. I kill a tank, kill a Bopter. I even kill a medium tank. Okay, so I'm basically up a Bopter and a medium tank. So I'm up 25k. However, he gets his super CO power up because of this, and this is the turn where we realize why Drake is sometimes tier 3 and Jess is usually, if not always, tier 4. Because owie! Oh my god, that was a 50k unit value swing. Plus I have all the recovery costs on my Neo tanks and stuff, which turned out to be so another 8k to that. So like nearly 60k in damage he did. which is absolutely brutal. Oh, he also decides to break this wall. Of course, his anti-air's in range. I don't even think I noticed that. Yeah, that's definitely a blunder from me, actually. Yeah, why couldn't I be happy in that formation? Yeah, this is just dumb. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I guess it's dumb. Oh, well, because he probably breaks that. Kill, kill. That's both infantry dead. Attacks with um, tank, right? He goes that way. That's cool. Oh, right, because he had to surround that way. But my counterattack over here is not horrible. Actually, it's pretty horrible. That's pretty bad. I hit the artillery? Okay. I guess I have Bopter advantage. I'm getting I'm like all over the place. I'm getting sidetracked like you wouldn't believe. Um, that looks terrible, but oh, okay. Okay, well okay. I mean, point is, yeah, all right. That was pretty bad. This is terrible. Like that's so obvious that this wall is flawed. So, so frustrating when you just build a bad wall and it just you lose. Okay, so the first real blunder is this wall. Like the first like unexcusable blunder is this wall right here. Okay. Um. Oh, if you're wondering what the heck these tanks are doing, like even if this wall didn't break, um, you might ask what the hell these tanks are doing. Free damage, free damage. What are you doing? DPSI. Uh, I threw these tanks down here in order to charge my power to get the medium tank. Okay. This is another very important life lesson that I learned. Um, Drake's Super CO power creates rain, and it's easy to forget this. The real damage of this CO power, this is like damn near Olaf level destruction. Because look at this. I can't make it to this square with my medium tank. And I was totally counting on it. Could I really not get to that square? That is so depressing. I mean, I must not have been able to because clearly, like, that's the purpose of this medium tank is to trade favorably when he goes up and attacks it. Like that, there's no other reason for this medium tank to be way the hell back here, like sequestered off from all that crazy action that's happening over here. So, like the movement cost from the rain absolutely destroyed my attempted counterattack, the one that I calculated. So yeah, basically bad news bears. And like to make matters even worse, like my power was up, so like all of the damage that he did to me doesn't even go to my meter, which is another just like unfortunate timing. Like this is more something that you can't always compensate for that. Sometimes you just attack and use your CO power, and that sets you up for like a massive counterattack, and like all the damage you take from the counterattack doesn't go towards your meter, which is unfortunate, but it's just the way it is sometimes. Okay, so two bad things that happen this turn. Terrible wall, get split open. Can't counter this medium tank. It can't counter this neo tank, even though I really want to. And then we haven't talked about really what's going on over here. Basically, he was trying to get Randy and take this city, which is, I think most games this goes to the two base side, the city. I mean, it does for him without much contesting for my part. So he tries to take this, and he's got like literally all of his units over here. Maybe like a different approach would be to put some pressure over here, but not a crazy amount. and then sort of force him to spread himself thin by pressuring this area, because there's a juicy city here. This city is in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is cities in tank range from his base, so this one would be hard to actually take, but it could force some response so that he's diverting his forces away from just one little pocket. So that's kind of like a broad strategy idea that I could try to do next time. Okay, well, I mean, we can pretty much see that this turn right here is pretty much GG, because I'm going to continue to slowly bleed out on this side. I'm kind of losing it everywhere. What? I don't remember the rest of this part. Did I really need that last infantry in order to get my power going? Because I feel like that was a little bad, a small but bad trade. Well, actually, it traded fine. I went in, killed an infantry, and got killed. Ew. Wait, did I have to do that? I was trying to prevent the capture of that city. And he gets it anyways. Damn. Yeah, at that point, I think the anti-air is better off going somewhere else, right? Wait, huh? Yeah, get that anti-air out of there. Can I really not make it to that Bopter? Oh my god, that's so bad. Seriously? I can't go 2 squares to get that B-copter? And like I lose free anti-air because of it. Whatever. I'm over it. So this trade right here is a little unexpected. He like flings his Neo tank into my medium tank with a Bopter. Loses them both. Let's look at the unit value. So Hurricane turn, I'm down by 3k. Recovery turn, I'm up by 1k. Wait, did I say 3k? I should mean 30k. 30k. Up 1k. Flies in. He's up 90k. Okay, he might just be in trade mode at this point. Yeah, because I'm still down 20k. I can't believe, like, of all the damage that I've done, he gets 2 super CO powers off, and I get a CO power and a super CO power, and he's also up 90k in unit value. Double my unit value. That is absolutely absurd. Yeah, like the real kicker here is that, well, 2 things. One is that his most powerful attack was when I was using a CO power. The second thing is that a lot of his damage, I don't know what percent, but a good chunk of the damage that he's dealt is done from super CO power mass damage. So of course it doesn't count towards your meter. Okay, so if I were to condense everything I've said down to like the minimum number of sentences required, it would go like this. Okay. Oh my god, what a swag play. He's going for the middle, or threatening to attack my 1 base side with an extra tank. Very small note, maybe I could have gone over here. Oh my god, he's threatening to interrupt the cap of my essential comm tower, which I really need because Jess benefits a lot from it. YOLO! Get my power and then do something crazy. Because I'm going to be able to counterattack. What an idiot! Ah! Oh no! I can't reach it! GG. Okay, that's about it. Okay, that's condensed as much as I could get, while still having the thing be educational. Oh yeah, and one last thing. Okay, what the hell? He gets 2 Super CO powers, and I only get a CO power and a Super CO power, but he's also at double my unit value, which is absurd because we have the he even has an extra star to charge his power, so he definitely throttled his CO power, Super CO power usage more than I did. Okay, that's all I have here. I always love playing against really top level players because there's always a lot to learn, and this one proved to be even more of a learning experience than most of them that I play. I've definitely taken a lot from this game, and I'll be thinking more about some of the plays that he made and trying to apply that for my own games moving forward. So that's pretty much it for now.